Welcome to the Trini TechCast. This is episode number 65. We recorded on the 12th of May. Today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to...
Oh,
yeah. That man? Oh no, your face looked like... No, it looked like it was genuinely surprised there. Because...
No. See, I kind of not too long get up. So, when you now get up, it's like, you have to kind of reset in terms of...
Right.
Now, but I wished my wife Happy Mother's Day and my mother Happy Mother's Day. So...
Right. Yeah,
well, I did stuff as well too,
Yeah. My children cooked today for the first time for Mother's Day. I actually got them to cook. Because normally we'd either go out or I would cook.
Yeah.
But my son, he found a recipe on Instagram, and I found the recipe was looking shaky, yeah? But I was like, yeah, let's try the Instagram recipe. And he followed through with it, I guess. He was inspired because I actually told him we could make a recipe from Instagram instead of trying to tell him exactly what to do now. So what I realize is, them recipe videos, you could rack up a cool 100 views just by the person playing that recipe over and over and over.
Yeah, because get it right.
Yeah, it's a short, and the short just looping. And I shot that short loop about 50 times while he was cooking. Yeah, and I was like, wow, that man rack up 50 views just from somebody trying to cook.
Yeah, I mean,
that must be a dark art.
Yeah, it's good to see the effort and everything, and even the thought that was going to Mother's Day.
Somehow I feel you.
See if it reciprocated.
Somehow I feel you was going and reach somewhere there, and I am a strong advocate for making sure that fathers are recognized also, because it's hard work, dog. It's hard work, all you.
My gas socks or a tie, pair of socks or a tie.
I just want to do nothing, I'll be like, what you want? Just don't talk to me.
Peace.
Just leave me alone.
Peace and quiet.
Yeah. Just tell me nothing. All right, so big up to all the people. Well, you're listening after the fact, of course, but it's Mother's Day and we're on right now. So today we're going to have an interview, and I wouldn't introduce him yet. Before I tell you about the interview, what did you do techie this week? How your Oracle thing going? Anything? No?
Kind of on hold because we complete the POC, the proof of concept, and the test tenant, and now we're going to move to the live tenant, and we're in that period between where we need to actually pay Oracle to make the tenant and for them to make the tenant. Right. Yeah, so,
Okay. Yeah, that's when finance had come into it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say nothing.
No, you can't say anything. I have exams going on right now.
Okay. Now, I was just going to say, Oracle, one of the people actually in Trinidad this week, and for some reason they want to meet with us.
Oh.
Most times I just mean they're trying to upsell you on something. Trying to wine and dine you.
Yeah. Would you be interested in our premium cloud storage plan?
No, I would like to get some free exam credits.
Yeah, so I in exam mode. Students doing their IT and computer science exams, and I just working out papers right now, helping students and
going through
doing that
motions.
stuff. Yeah. As soon as May is finished, then we start back into my little hobbies and things. Long I use my 3D printer. I want to go and start.
Oh, you have a 3D printer. Okay, is use it for a robotic stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use it for building robotic parts and them kind of thing. But I still want to experiment with CAD and making 3D models. But that take real time to learn. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to learn CAD. That's
be dedicated to it.
Yeah, boy. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so today's interview is going to be with one of the winners of the D-Hub Challenge. Their name is SK Devs, and we will talk to them about everything. So I'm bringing them to the stage right now. Welcome to the podcast, the SK Devs. SK Devs. This stands for Sinead and Kwasi. Do not say,
pretty much.
right? Do not say Kwasi because you will be side-eyed. you will be side-eyed, right? Yeah, so they are the winners of one of the challenges for the D-Hub. And in last week's episode, we were telling you all about, we went through all of the different things that the D-Hub challenges were about. And we started to ask a lot of questions. And during the podcast, I was like, hey, that is my past student. And I legitimately started to boast. And I started to let the whole world know that Sinead Hamilsmith is my past student from way back when. We won't call years because then that will start to put ages out there. Yeah, we ain't really want to go through that. So, welcome to the podcast, Kwasi and Sinead. How y'all going?
We're good. Great. Yeah.
Great. $350,000. Great. Sorry. I didn't mean to go there so fast. But yeah, you're great. I see you have on your D-Hub hoodies and everything. And we're going to talk a little bit about not just D-Hub and the challenge. We want to talk about that and talk about, how technology could move forward in Trinidad and Tobago. But before that, we have to really spend time making sure that we know who you are and we know where you came from and what really drives you. So, first segment is your technology history. And we'll be back right after that with their technology history. Have you ever tried to order something online using a Visa debit card, but you can't? Is shopping online something you always do already using a Skybox, but sometimes you need advice on knowing what to buy or what will work? I'm Mr. Charles from makeITsimpleTT, and we aim to make technologies that solve problems in a Caribbean context. So we created Order It. What is it, you ask? What is Order It? It's an app and a website that helps you order it in two ways. The first way is if you already order things online. You're familiar with using a Skybox, you're familiar with using a credit card, but sometimes you don't always have answers to certain questions, like which laptops will get a warranty in Trinidad, which phones will work on the Digicel network or the mobile network. So our app helps you order it. Every product that we list in the app, we will let you know the truth based on the experience of 20 years of ordering things online and using various Skyboxes in Trinidad and Tobago. So here are some of the questions that the app answers for you based on the products that we list. What are the taxes? Why does it cost so much when I actually get it? What is dimensional weight? All these questions and more we answer in the app because we want to help you order it. All you have to do is simply pick from our list of recommended items that we know and trust because we've ordered it already. Follow through the payment process. We'll order it and we can even have it delivered to you. So why don't you give it a try? Search for Order It by makeITsimpleTT in the App Store or the Google Play Store, or you can even go online to orderit.makeITsimpleTT.com and check and see if we could answer some of your questions and help you in the process of ordering it. Nice. So, SK Devs, Sinead and Kwasi, what is your technology history? Why did you choose this field in Trinidad and Tobago? Because it's definitely an uphill battle to be a developer in Trinidad. And for some reason, you decide you want all of the smoke and you're going to try and do this thing. What in life made you decide to do that? Let's start with you, Kwasi. Go ahead.
Right, sure. So I discovered I had a passion for IT and programming at a really young age. And I don't know, something about it just consumed my being. Like my entire existence was just like programming. Funny thing is, a couple of weeks ago, I was looking back at my secondary school report book, and that was practically the one subject I was consistently good at throughout the entire secondary school. Yeah, and looking back at it now, it's clear to see that it was my passion, right? I don't know, something about just having a thought, like in your head, this abstract thing, like I want to write a program, I want to write a piece of software to do something. And then, figuring out how to do that by writing paragraphs of code, compiling it, and then seeing the end result, that whole process of taking a thought and bringing it into something that is kind of tangible. I find that's real awesome. That's super awesome. And that is something I'm really passionate about.
So you did IT in secondary school. What school you went to?
I went to Azure Boys College, San Fernando.
Okay. Hey. I actually went to ModTech.
Oh, you went Mod? Okay.
Yeah, but that was probably way before you.
Probably way before me.
Yeah. Yeah, right now I am literally teaching a bunch of students, some Astra boys and Astra girls, computer science. I'm the external computer science teacher, and
Okay.
I teach all of them. They are the little bright down there, no, the little bright down there.
Plenty better.
So all right, so you're doing IT in school, but most schools when they're doing IT, they just teach you like how to turn on a computer, how to do this. Like when did you actually write your first program, right? Your first piece of code? Was it Pascal? Most likely it was Pascal.
No, it was actually in C.
What?
Yeah, it was actually in C. So funny thing is, back when I was in Form 2 or something like that, my sister was doing her bachelor's up in UE. And she actually introduced me to C programming, and I thought that was real cool because she took some exercise from her class, I believe, back then, which was write a program that would be able to tell you what your times tables is, right? And then
Right, yeah.
I saw that she wrote like a for loop, and that was super amazing. And like a couple of lines of code, I'm able to now have a program that could give me my 4 times tables or something like that. But it don't have to be from 1 to 12. I could tell it start at 5 and end at 20, and that was just awesome, right? So yeah, my first set of programs was actually C, and then I went from C to Pascal.
You sound real geeky, boy. Like that is like that's a proper inform too. You imagine you bunks in your class and you're like, yo, I could do my times tables on a computer. Like all the football players are just watching like, yo, please move.
Well, to be honest, Aja never really had much football players.
All right. Okay, so that you get excited because of actual coding, and it brought you joy to create something on a computer, and I could see that. I could see that totally because the feeling of creation, it gives you a sort of supremacy, like computer, I own you. Yeah. And I can make you do whatever I want. Yeah.
I had a similar experience, in terms of the whole being able to write a piece of code and bring an idea to life, something out of nothing. But my experience was way later because I didn't do IT in secondary school. I went straight to my degree in UE, and that was the first time I did anything. But I had a similar experience too, in terms of creating something, and that is what kind of sparked I had a passion for IT and tech before, but that was sparked my passion in terms of being a developer.
Yeah, I didn't. Same thing with me. Us old folks, we didn't have IT in school, so I really started off with hardware.
Well. I had IT in school, but I didn't do it. Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, funny thing, we had IT up to Form 5, but we didn't have computer science in Form 6 at all. But I don't know, I was just so obsessed with it. I was the only guy that just went solo. So I did computer science for Form 6.
Yeah.
And the school didn't have a computer science teacher.
Still don't. Well, they have one in me. All right, so Sinead, I know your story somewhat, but just to give a side note, I still have your IA from way back when, where you did a website about pigeons, and
we were just talking about that. Yes,
yeah.
That is one of my pride and joys, that pigeon website. I still speak about it today, so I'm quite proud of that website, actually.
All right, so tell everybody who's listening, where did it start? Why do you like IT or technology? Well, design and IT, because I believe based on the bio that we have for you, you're very into the UX. Because I know, anyway, I'm not gonna tell them what I know. Go ahead.
Correct. Well, I think you know how passionate I was about IT at that point in time. I was all about IT, but I also had the same passion back then with art. I really decided that I think if ComSci was available back then, I would have gone in a completely different direction. But because it wasn't available and I didn't really get to dive deep into that portion of computers, I went along the art route and I went off to do film. So I really stayed on that artistic, creative side. And it's only really until I met him that I found that there was a link between the two, because we wanted to start our own business. We wanted to work for ourselves. We didn't want to work for anybody else. And so I needed to find a way to fit myself into his obsessive computer lifestyle. And so to do that, I had to meld the two between art and computers, and that's when I found UX, and I did a certificate, the Google Coursera certificate of UX design. And I learned so much from that certificate, and it kind of has formed all of my values in UX design. That specific certificate is my cornerstone for UX design.
Okay. This is a one of those like micro certificate. Is it a paid one or is it a free one?
I paid for it. Yeah, it's
okay.
Coursera.
Right, yeah, because I know sometimes they have some free ones and then they'll try to basically upsell you to do the bigger one.
Yeah, well, I did the bigger one, yes.
Right. And they lock in and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm inside. I love this. Okay, now with UX design, it usually is a difficult sort of thing to explain to developers, right? Because somebody who's a back-end developer, like I could imagine Kwasi does get excited when he sees 100% done on a script that he wrote from scratch and it's a black screen with white writing and he just like, yes, 45% efficiency increase. And then you have a UX designer to be like, yeah, but it looks ugly though. And
so that whole issue is the main issue of all of our arguments in our life. Like there are times where I would give him a design and the design is showing red and he has pink on his computer, and I literally D-Hub themselves saw that we were arguing with each other and quarreling about how he's not following my designs, and he never takes my designs into consideration when he's actually designing. I would prototype this whole thing, wireframe it up, and he would go off and do his own thing, and then I have to come back and iterate on that again and again. Y'all don't understand. Seriously.
No, in my defense, because I think I had to jump in here, right?
Yes, you deserve to jump in. Go ahead, jump in. On behalf of all the back-end people in the world, let me hear. Yeah, go ahead.
The functionality of the application is important, right? Because you can have a really pretty application, but if it don't work, then it don't really make sense.
Tell them. Sorry.
That's the thing, if it works, but you can't use it, then it still doesn't work.
So, I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying, and kind of from the judges to the judges, you know, like when you're going in a competition like this, the judges like the bells and whistles, they like to see, you know, they look and feel. So, I mean, I'm primarily a back-end person too, but I appreciate that, Kwasi, sometimes you need the look and feel and the bells and whistles. That's to capture the attention, you know, and then...
Kwasi, when they press a button, the button must do what it's supposed to do. Yes. All right, we just playing poking fun here, but it's good for people to kind of understand the dynamic, especially our listenership. They kind of understand the concept of development, because a lot of people, when they hear about programming and when they hear about development, they think that all you have to do is just code. And a lot of the times, what you have to do is consider the user when you are developing, and that goes for the coding perspective and goes for the design perspective, because considering the user is usually the biggest issue that we tend to have, because you think you know what the users want, and then when you give them it, they're like, no, why is that there? And you're like, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I was taught. But then users are so weird.
Yeah. And I mean, it's good to have the right balance to it, because if you just had two back-end people or two front-end people, you know, some things will get lost along the way. So it's good to have that balance and people who are strong in the different areas, because I've been part of some teams, similar competitions, you know, and looking back, I could tell that if you had people that was like really, really too technical, like just focused on the back-end stuff, you kind of lose some stuff on the other side. Even if it come to the parts where you have to like build a business case or a business model, that type of thing, you know. So it's good to have people who's strong in different areas, and you know, you come together and you use your strength to get to the end. And
you clash, So essentially, your technology history is centered around school, right? So you were in a school, and that school opened you up to IT in a way that kind of gave you a chance to implement it and sort of pique your curiosity, and then you springboarded from that, right?
Definitely.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
you did a good job.
I didn't say anything about me being a teacher and me teaching Sinead for 4 years. I didn't say anything about that. Nothing at all. No
You
mention
just
at all.
did though.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, cool. So thank you very much for your history. Now let's go on to before we talk about D-Hub, we genuinely want you to talk about technology. So we want to find out the technology that you're passionate about. So we'll come back after the break, right?
In today's digital age, every business needs a strong online presence to reach new customers and stay competitive. But not every business needs a complex website or a full-fledged e-commerce solution. At makeITsimpleTT, we understand that every business has unique needs, and we offer a range of tailored solutions to fit those needs. Over the years, we've helped many businesses. Our services include website design and development. We create a professional and user-friendly website like these that represent your brand and drives results. Invoicing and payment processing. We can streamline your billing process with a user-friendly invoicing system that integrates seamlessly with most payment gateways, and you can receive online payments easily. We also do automated order forms, which allows you to collect orders online and customer information effortlessly and send back automated emails, notifications, and reminders, and then you just have to make the sale at the end. And in some cases, we offer custom software development, where we can create a specialized software system that meets your business's specific needs. But the key to all this is that we make it simple. If it's not easy for you to use, then we failed. So you can contact us today to learn more about how we can help make your business more successful. You can WhatsApp us at 1-868-308-8799, or you can visit makeITsimpleTT.com/business.
All right, so in the world of technology right now, what we want to really get to is you definitely know a lot about technology. And one of the goals of our podcast is to kind of showcase the fact that Trinidadians are very, very good at technology, and we're extremely knowledgeable. And the hub itself would have shown that there are a lot of developers out there, there are a lot of people out there who know about their technology, and they have dreams, they have goals, and they have their finger on the pulse when it comes to technology. And we could do many of the things that we see all over, right? So if I were to ask you what technology you're passionate about right now, what you're looking at, and you're saying to yourself, hey, that's real cool. I want to learn everything about it, but I do have the time. What would you say is your passion right now?
Well, I have my eyes on a lot. Looking at all the different technology that is in the sphere right now, I mean, there's AI, there's ML, there's blockchain. Personally, for me, blockchain is something that I'm really, really passionate about. I rolled out a huge blockchain project as a proof of concept a couple of months ago with UE, and that was pretty awesome. Seeing the potential of blockchain, knowing what it has in store for our future. I think there's some awesome things to come in the medium to long term once blockchain is more widely adopted in the region. Yeah.
But why blockchain though? Like, because many people will say everything. For the time they hear blockchain, most people will think Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
And then they will think it's
NFTs.
volatile. Yeah,
Right.
or NFTs, and they'll be like, them
More
things don't
than
work
that.
yet. So let me hear what about it you really see as the sustainable use of blockchain. Yeah.
All right, I could give you a few examples, but the first one that comes to my mind is the use of smart contracts, right? So we all are familiar with the system of owning a car, all right? So you go down to licensing office. Let's say you just import a rural vehicle, you get a license, you get a certified copy, which is like a document that says I own this vehicle. Right? When you want to sell that vehicle to somebody else, you had to go back into licensing, transfer the vehicle. That is a whole long process that is, in my opinion, inefficient, and it have rooms for making it better. Now, if we take that scenario, right, and we were to transfer it into the blockchain realm, right? Let's say we have like an NFT, right, that says that this NFT represents my car, right? Me, the owner of this NFT, once I hold that actual token, means that I own the car. If I want to transfer the car from me to, let's say, you, right, all I have to do is just transfer the NFT across to the wallet, pay the necessary fees, right? Something that currently takes us days, right, a lot of hours spent in licensing office could be a couple of seconds in on finishing under a minute using blockchain technologies. And using this car, ownership is one, but we also have the same thing thinking about like ownership of homes. You could transfer a house like that within a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
So
And then the security and stuff is also built in there in the blockchain. So yeah, there's a lot of processes we could definitely.
So what I will tell you is that similar to some of the past conversations, look at usability. Because in terms of the population in Trinidad or in the Caribbean on a whole, you have a wide range of people in terms of how tech savvy they are. So some people a lot of people wouldn't even understand what blockchain is. So focus on that aspect, in terms of.
We ain't saying it go work, boy.
No, but
just
I would like it to work. So I just, telling you that it have a lot of people that don't even use online banking, all that type of thing, So that's just a kind of, it's not a barrier, but that's something to take into consideration, in terms of. So part of that might be educating people on blockchain, educating people, in terms of how we're going to work, have a simple way of doing what you just explained, So that would be part of it as well.
I glad you're passionate about it, because it's always had to start with somebody who is overly passionate to actually take the risk and fight it and fight for it. Maybe by the time you're 50 years old, it might be there. But the passion is where it starts.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Actually, what are you passionate about when it comes to technology? What do you think that jumps in mind right now? Like, hey, if I had 4 more hours in a day, I would do this technology-wise or something along those lines.
I wouldn't say there's a specific technology I would like to experiment with. But in general, I want to make the accessibility of everything that Trinidad uses more accessible. So I want all of the apps that release in the future, I want them to be accessible to old people specifically. I have a passion about dealing with old people. You know that?
Before you go on, when I say old people, how old are you talking?
No. But when I say old people, I mean people who are not technologically literate. I know we generalize them as old people, but people who struggle with technology and using technology, I deal with a lot of them, and I feel like they have lost trust in technology in general because they can't use it. And so there's this stigma now of technology is bad because they can't use it, they don't know what to do, it's too difficult. And I want to make it so that it makes their life easier rather than they find it too difficult. I want to take that stigma away from them.
All right. Okay. So you're passionate about the accessibility of technology to the whole range of human beings, and not just
old people. Just people, and not just technologically technological literacy, but also just people with disabilities is a serious thing. Like most of our apps in Trinidad don't have dark mode, text to speech, like the kind of things that people who are blind or have mobility issues, our apps can't be used in Trinidad by people with disabilities at all. I don't think I found one app that is accessible in that aspect.
Yeah, no, you're totally correct. Because the back end people just be like, it working. But I agree with it, and I love that passion, because it will, in moving technology forward, which is what the Ministry of Digital Transformation is trying to do. We need to be able to get the people to buy into it, and getting people to buy into technology is quite difficult. I have learned over time, because there was a time, like during COVID, I was doing like these classes for adults and just teaching them the basics of the basics. Like, to start off with, like, if you say right click, there are some people who will be ready to flip a laptop, and you're like, right click. What is a right click? And it was like, you never really got that.
Funny enough, it's how some like really younger people that don't know what right click and stuff is too.
Or those start me down that road because
they grew up on phones and
cell phones, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And me teaching younger children like Form 2 and 3 right now and asking them to do something on a laptop or computer, they just get frustrated so fast. Like there is no desire to like stick to it and be like, well, click here now, try clicking this, try this or try that. They just be like, no, if the button doesn't come right in front of them and literally guide them through the whole process, they don't want to even try to fight through it. Unless it's to find a way to post a viral video of them dancing to a song. They'll figure it out. They will learn how to do it. But when it comes to user interfaces and getting people to be guided on how to use it, I understand why you're passionate about that, Sinead, because that could be the deal breaker between adoption and throwing it away.
Correct.
Very, very easily. Yeah, I get you. Nice. So, well, when people say that they're passionate about things, it always interests me. I always want to ask them, okay, so why are you not passionate about AI? Or are you like smart enough to realize, AI is a tool and all the buzz about it, it really not important yet. We just have to find proper ways to do it. So tell me your views on AI. This is a curveball question.
All right, so my views on AI, like you just said, it's a tool, and it's a tool. It all depends on the effectiveness of it is dependent on how you use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I see a lot in what I currently do is I see a lot of people just run to ChatGPT and try to type in something. It may hallucinate and then spit out a wrong answer, but then these people take that answer as the truth. And ChatGPT said this, and there could be no wrong because ChatGPT said this. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Sit down.
Sit down.
True, right? Reason this true. Does this make sense? And then they'll say no. So I was like, why would it be correct if when you sit down and reason it through, it'll make sense to you? Yeah? So it's all about learning how to use the tools that you have effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And AI still have a lot of room to grow, in my opinion.
Okay. And Sinead, what about you on AI? Y'all have a love-hate relationship because AI design is horrible.
I mean, at the end of the day, AI in what I do is not extremely effective because we lose that human aspect. And my whole thing is about compassion and empathy with humans and users, and AI doesn't quite get that. Like everything you would get is kind of robotic, not very empathetic, not like it's very one-toned. And so I mean it's nice for things like instead of using lorem ipsum you can actually put some proper text in your design, things like that, or a placeholder image. But I don't really use AI in any of my designs for UI and stuff like that. I don't use it to help me go through the empathy problem of my job at all, because you can't. It's a robot at the end of the day.
So in terms of the tools available, you have ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. Which ones y'all, I'm sure you play around with a couple of them. Which ones is the go-to ones for you guys?
For me personally, I would use GPT-4 in certain circumstances, but right now I'm looking to train a custom model based on Llama 3 to do some awesome stuff.
Okay. Boy, somebody have a data set sitting down there just waiting to feed it to the monster. All right, cool. And so that's technology that you're passionate about. I hope the listeners of the podcast are glad that they didn't just say AI or we found this cool, because we deep here in Trinidad. We know stuff, and they know stuff because they're actually the winners of a D-Hub challenge. So we want to get deep into D-Hub, spend a good half an hour talking about it, and get as much of your experience and your views on how this may or may not help the country go forward. And I'm really looking forward to this next segment. So next up, we're going to talk about how you won the D-Hub challenge and everything that we could find out about it. All right, so this is the part where I read your bio according to the Ministry of Digital Transformation. SK Devs team member Kwasi Edwards joined the D-Hub because he believes in its vision to transform Trinidad and the region. While in Form 3, IT's logic impressed him so much that he became a software developer. Eventually, Kwasi developed a game called Narukro. Wait, no, that's like Naruto spin-off. Anyhow, yeah, which got over 40,000 downloads and a dedicated fan base before it crashed before an unfortunate hardware disaster. Kwasi is looking for redemption in the challenge, real-time S42. His partner and teammate is Sinead Hamill-Smith. Her journey into UX design was fueled by a lifelong passion. Art, she placed 8th in the Caribbean in the Cape Art exams. When she met Kwasi, they found a perfect synergy between her artistic inclinations and Kwasi's knack for development. As their relationship blossomed, this converged beautifully in the realm of UI design. Delving deeper into this fusion, she discovered the fascinating intricacies of UX design, which became the cornerstone of her professional aspirations. So basically what we spoke about at the start is what your bio basically says, except for Sinead didn't mention me. And that's okay, because I know where I stand. Sorry. That is just me being facetious. So, D-Hub, take us through the process from start, like application. What made you decide, or how did you find out about it and you said to yourself, let's try this. Let me hear the story.
Well, we had actually just come down from a high of winning a different hackathon from Kariri. And so we were like, okay, where do we get another one to win? Because we just won, so let's try and win again. And then we saw on Facebook this D-Hub challenge, and we were like, yeah, let's just try. And I wrote both of the proposals because they had the 5 challenges, and you were allowed to submit for up to 2 challenges. So I decided to increase our chances of winning. Let's submit 2. And so I resubmitted for Ministry of Health and for the TT Post one, which is the real-time S42, the one we won. And from there, we were put through a judgment process where they made the proposals anonymous. And so when they were judging it, they didn't know whose proposal was who. And so at the end of it, when they shortlisted those proposals to choose 3 for each challenge, both of our proposals ended up being chosen. So we had to do 2 applications. And that was the first award show that happened. So we won $50,000 for the development of a proof of concept for those challenges, for the proposals that we won. Now, we had 3 months to do actual development of this proof of concept, and we were supervised by a third-party organization who was checking our code for accuracy, making sure that we're actually developing these things based on certain milestones. And every team at the end of it had fully working applications that was core functionality fully working. So we didn't.
So pause for a second.
Yeah.
I mean, because you said a lot so far, and
Go ahead.
you know we have questions. Right. So you won a hackathon with Curry. What that one was about? That was just another side project y'all had?
Yeah, it was just a fun thing we decided to do. It was a 2-day hackathon with Kariri that we won, where it was based on sustainable education or something. And we had done an app called Adventure, where it was basically Google Maps Street View, but taking you through fun places in Trinidad. So we went, and for the demo, we did a walk through botanical gardens, but in that Street View thing. The different trees and flowers and stuff, and see more information. And we also 3D scan them, so you can like place the tree in your house and through AR and like walk around it and whatever. And it was basically to do virtual field trips for students during COVID. So that was that whole hackathon that we won, and so we just decided, let's do another.
Right. Okay. That's cool. And this is when we say develop, you primarily develop in web. So we're talking about JavaScript, Flask, Ionic, whatever it is.
No, I primarily develop on mobile. So I do use Flask as my backend primarily. Flutter, as my mobile application frame.
Flutter, okay, cool. So you'll be able to be cross-platform, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. Because that is just, it's nice when it works, and when it doesn't work, you're like, somebody help me on the internet. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Yeah, it's be like that on the back end. So we get through with career, and then you also, you said like, let me shoot my shot, and you shot 2 shots,
yes,
and both of them hit a target.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So if both of them hit our targets, then you had to choose which one you want to do the proof of concept for. Or you...
No, we did 2 applications in the same amount of time that everybody did one.
What? Oh my goodness. All right. And you alone...
Because I think I caught you guys, y'all did one for the health
yes,
the health app.
Health and TT
Yeah, I think I saw that one too. Yeah.
Kwasi, I just had to ask a question. Yeah. How's your caffeine intake?
Now, I actually manage, although we did face some scheduling issues because I am a teaching assistant at UE. Yeah, so balancing everything that was going on was a task. But
right. Yeah, well, obviously. All right, so the next question is the supervisor. Now, when I hear supervisor, I get scared in Trinidad, honestly, because I think in somebody who has no idea about what they're talking about gonna come and ask me questions that will be blatantly obvious. So I just feeling like somebody can't be like, so why did you use a for loop instead of a while loop, or some kind of thing? Were your supervisors, if you are allowed to say, were they technically sound enough to be able to ask the right questions?
Without a doubt, yes, they were very, very, very technologically sound.
Okay, all right.
Experts.
Andre, the way I asked that question, they couldn't really say nothing else. So.
No, they could have said, I will refuse to answer that question.
No, they were definitely experts. They really were.
Okay, okay. And these are third parties or the trainees? Like, when I say third partners, like foreign based or
trainees. Yeah.
That gives me hope. Look how you're making me smile right now. Okay. All right. Now, they would be trainee software developers, or they would be like university lecturers or anything like that. I'm really just trying to see how far I could go before you tell me no, we can't tell you.
It's a whole organization. It's a trainee business that was brought in by the D-Hub to supervise that section of it.
Okay. Yeah. And the business will remain unnamed until we interview another D-Hub winner and we get them to say. Yeah. All right. So you're getting supervised. Okay, so reach up to that point, you're getting supervised. You brought forth your proof of concept, and your proof of concept would have been displayed, and now 3 proof of concepts will make it to like the final judging, basically, right?
Correct. So three proof of concepts were chosen in the first place. 3 proposals were chosen. So only 3 groups moved on to create their proof of concepts.
Right.
And we had 3 months to then create this proof of concept. And we all had to then submit this proof of concept for judging based on alignment to the challenge, as well as the progress of the proof of concept, the progress that we made. And then after that, we all had the same amount of time to prepare for our pitches. And we were also provided with workshops to help us learn how to pitch, and individual pitching sessions with some third-party experts who were foreign that gave us individual feedback on how to pitch. So that was kind of their way of leveling the playing field in terms of pitching, because we know some people may be more extroverted, better at speaking and everything. So that was their way of leveling that playing field. Everybody got the same workshop. Everybody got individual advice on their pitch. And then we moved on to the TV filming of the pitches. by the time that we were at filming, our solutions had already been judged for progress and alignment. So when it came to the pitch, the reason why everybody seemed to go all out in their pitch is because that's all we were being judged on at that point in time. The pitch. We were all just looking for a pitch score because the progress and alignment had already been judged.
Okay. So basically there was for lack of a better word for the listeners, there was a technical part of it that was done in advance to say, okay, these people have met their technical milestones, their application does work, it does have all the functions that are necessary. So therefore, that part is like a checkbox. And then the next checkbox now is, can you impress the people who will want to invest in this?
Correct.
Yeah.
With a pitch, right? Yeah. Okay. Yes. And now when it comes to the pitches, even in the playing field is one thing, but there's always an element of, bro, I don't want to go and stand up in front of anybody and talk, right? Now, did you get that feel? I know you could stand up and talk in front of people because, well, you have the ability to, because you went to a particular school. The ability to talk, did you get from the other teams that maybe, even though the playing field was trying to be leveled, it was still kind of, I'm not fully comfortable in my shoes here with that? Because, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of teams that were just jealous. Not jealous. Not jealous. There were a lot of teams that were nervous. Sorry.
Right,
really anxious. And you could actually see it in their faces when they're up on the TV pitching and they're stumbling and they're stuttering. That's not how they speak in real life. They were very nervous. But we all knew that we had to pitch. We knew from the moment that we won the proposal that there would have been this Shark Tank type pitch. They said that in the award ceremony for the proposals. So we were all kind of, it was this thing that was looming over us for this whole time. We were all nervous about it. And just some people have it and some people don't. But I don't think that anybody was really at a disadvantage when it came to the pitches. I think everybody got equal opportunity to ask questions, get advice, kind of learn how to pitch. So it really just came down to how you prepared for it.
Right. Okay. Cool. So we get to the point where you do the TV recording and whatnot, but at this point in time you didn't know if you won yet.
No.
You were just recording, and then they would have produced the recording, gone through all of the TV stuff, do the promotions and all those different things. When do you actually know if you won?
The same time the rest of the country did.
Yeah, right on the stage. We did not know up until then. Not even the D-Hub people knew on that day. There was apparently one person who printed that card, and that's it. Nobody knew.
Okay.
So,
wow.
I want to probably take a little step back. I want to kind of walk through, like the process, like the problem or the data set that was presented, and you guys actually coming up with a solution, based on the problem or stuff like that. How was that process for you guys? Well, I guess you could talk about the TT post.
Yeah.
One since that's the one you guys won.
As to how we came up with our solution for the problem, I don't know. I think we have this kind of, synergy between both of us where we would sit down and be like, all right, what is the problem? And we'll sit down for like 2-3 hours and be like, all right, this is the problem. If I wanted a solution for this is what I want. Yeah, and then, Sinead would say, if she was looking at an app or some sort of tech solution for this is what she would want. And we would go along like that for each of the different stakeholders that we could probably figure out, who would be the main groups of people that would be using this app and find out what their needs are, and then take that into consideration and then come up with like a whole big checklist. Our app should be able to do this for these groups of people.
Correct. Yeah. But also, throughout the 3 months that we were developing this POC, We also had workshops where they brought in the challenge owners. So they brought in TT Force, they brought in Ministry of Health and all of the others, and had us all collaboratively working on defining the problem that they have. And we this is the opportunity that we got to really talk to them, interview them, find out their process, find out the current process, what are their problems. So we had probably, I think it was 1 week or a week and a half of workshops that we just explored with the challenge owner and dive deep into their problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the gathering of information, you were able to basically pick their brain about the inner workings of the system right now as it is, and then go a little further by asking them, okay, so if this were done, would it make your life better? Or if it had this, would it make it better? And that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Somewhat. I mean, these workshops were done in the presence of the other competitors as well. So we had to kind of keep everything down low, kind of beat around the bush when we were talking to
Right. Okay.
Because all of the information that was shared was supposed to be completely public knowledge between all of the competitors, all three teams.
Okay.
So we couldn't go and ask them anything privately. We couldn't get anything answered on the side. Everything had to be knowledge that was shared amongst everybody.
So what I'm getting is that this thing was really, really, really well thought out and professionally done. And
correct. And the person who's like the project manager of this whole thing is actually a past HNC student as well.
Oh, for real?
So, yeah.
Look at that.
So, what I wanted to ask too as well. So similar to you guys, I entered competitions like this 10 years, a lot of years ago, and you won and stuff like that. So, like in my experience in those competitions, you would go up, have the problem, present the solution, a business case. You win, you get certain prizes, but then after that, in terms of executing something or bringing something to market, that's kind of where the fall off used to be, So given the experience with other competitions similar to this and this competition, what's the difference, or like even reaching the point, okay, you won, what is the, in terms of the roadmap, you think it'll be different in terms of actually bringing something to market, because that's where the kind of drop off used to be, So what's the difference between the ones before and this one?
Well, I think the major difference here is that these are real problems that the country is facing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've been in conversations with a couple of colleagues, and I asked them something like, "Hey, you just use a new address from TT Post?" Some of them will tell me, "Nah, they lost their address card. They don't know what their zip code is." Another one tell me, "Yeah, they have that stick up on the wall to make sure what their zip code is." Right? And a lot of people don't use it because, they can't easily access, for example, their brand new address. Right? A problem like the one that we are solving is something that I believe the majority of the country needs, and there would be, because it's a problem that everyone is facing, there would be a level of adoption that I think would happen for a solution like this. Yeah, so that's what I think is the big difference between this set of challenges versus like a regular hackathon, where in a hackathon you just beast out something over a few days or a weekend, you present it, versus a challenge like this where it's a problem that has an immediate market, an immediate use case, and it's something that is not just at the hackathon level, it's something at a countrywide level to improve the lives of citizens on a day-to-day basis.
I would also say, to add to that, the likelihood of this rolling out is higher because the organizations actually approach the Ministry of Digital Transformation with these problems. So they are already in the mindset that they have a problem and they want a solution for it. So it's not like we're just going to them and begging them, please take this solution. We have this great idea. They already know that they're coming to us for this challenge for a problem that is going to solve their
something that was
so in terms of thanks for the responses. So in terms of this challenge, you guys delivering the technology part of it and stuff like that, so in terms of implementing and going forward, you propose the technology, but do you guys see other probably barriers or hurdles that may prevent it from going forward in terms of things within the whole TT Post infrastructure, like maybe the people, the processes, the infrastructure, stuff like that, you know?
The aversion to technology, yeah.
I mean, that is always an issue. But I wouldn't say that they would have approached the ministry if they didn't feel they were ready. I wouldn't say that they would be part of this because they had to put a lot of effort also into this, like to be there for all of the workshops, to be there to judge. So I wouldn't say that they would have put this much effort in if they weren't ready to implement something like this or to try at least. There's always that issue, and that's always a hurdle that we need to get over. But we are going to attempt to get over it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just want to say I will be rooting for you guys because I know that this phase of it will probably be the hardest part, bringing it actually to market and having a product that the country could actually use. So I'll be rooting.
Now, in terms of the we had to talk about the money because we had to get it. I don't know how much you could tell me, but as I told you in advance, I'm gonna ask as much as I can until you tell me no. We can't tell you that, right? No. Normal startups, any that day in like an incubator, anything of that sort, a startup will have like an investor, angel investors. They'll have first round, second round, third round. That's all we know from the States, right? Now, in this case, like Y Combinator and all those kind of things, right? For the techie people are listening, and you know what Y Combinator is. If you don't know what Y Combinator is, Google it, right? Good. So you would get a sort of first round funding. Then you have something called a runway, where basically you have all this cash to burn through to get to a particular point before they say, all right, we'll give you the second round of investment. Has there been any sort of discussion about that? Because in my mind, $350,000 to roll out a big app at a particular scale could last in our economy probably about 1.5 to 2 years if you're paying developers properly and you're getting the right consultants and you're paying for the right infrastructure and all those different things. Right? I just seen 1.5 to 2 years. Yeah, right?
That kind of long.
Yeah, kind of long, right?
This way before.
Yeah. So I just trying to give a sort of runway, right? Has there been any talk about runways and investments and anything of that sort? And if you can't say it, it's okay. You could say no.
Well, I would say that this award is the award of the contract. It's not just here's some money, go and develop the MVP. This is the award of the contract. So this 350,000 is the contract to do this up until deployment.
Okay.
After that, I think we'll stop there because there are things in the talks, but there is nothing set in stone that we are aware of right now. But what we can say is that the IP of our things that we developed is all ours.
Okay,
and so
all right.
We are free to go and take this TT Post and Ministry of Health app and run it up the islands and pitch it to whoever we want to. The IP is fully ours to make money off of after. So we have other avenues other than this 350,000 with this product that we made.
All right, that is a very good answer because you gave some content without giving all the content. That is the mark of a true developer. Your car reveal was in the bag. Okay, so next follow-up question. If the IP is yours and you basically have the contract to get the works done, you now have to make some very critical development decisions, right? Yeah. The critical development decisions is, of course, you did the proof of concept, but now you have to get to MVP. And to get to the MVP, you'd have to decide who you're hosting with, who's the security, and all of those different things. Do the supervisors still have a role in this thing, or they have basically said, okay, all you know what you're doing? Go with Azure, go with AWS, go with Google Cloud. Go ahead and develop in Flutter. Sure, no problem. Yeah, use SHA encryption. Yeah, we cool about that. Yeah, all those different things. They confirm. That means my question is, It pushing some thought here. Do the supervisors still have a part to play in your technology implementation? Because Trinidad and Tobago would have had some history with technology implementation with other companies. Let's say, for example, Microsoft. There's a lot of Microsoft applications and stuff that goes on in the ministry. And some places might be hosting on this place. Some people might have a website built in WordPress. Some people have a website built in JavaScript. And those sort of different things. How is the technology implementation going to go forward?
All right. So in terms of hosting and security, that is going to be handled, right?
Not by us.
Not by us.
Third-party organization is hosting. Yeah. We are not hosting.
Okay. All right. So, that's one.
So like at the architecture level, you're not really involved?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, so what I could say is that what we are responsible for is the actual application. Yeah, so strictly to put into tech terms, back and front end of the entire software suite stack, infrastructure, and those other supporting things is not within our
purview.
Well,
it's not part of the scope. Not the scope.
It's not right, but we're not the one that's responsible for the infrastructure setup and the hosting.
All right, good answer again. So when something bad happens, and they come and they say, "It's your fault. Your code is bad," and you now want to say, "No, the host went down." Is there anything that is in place? You probably won't be able to answer this one, but I just wanted to see a facial expression.
That's a great question. That is what we have to say, that is a good question.
Yeah, no. As a developer, I have ways of finding out where the failure points are. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But who you really defending yourself to at the end of the day? There will always be somebody who will blame us, who will blame other people, who will blame the government just randomly. Everybody blames somebody. So, I mean, it's expected.
It's part of the package.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, it's all things you could do to cover yourself with a lot of monitoring tools and things you could put in place.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's my second to last hard question. The next hard question is, you ready for it? This one is getting a little weird. If the government changes, what will happen? Let's say the Ministry of Digital Transformation is the brainchild of this current government and whatever the case is or whatnot, and then government changes and is like, yeah, that digital transformation thing, that was not a good idea, and we hate y'all and we're going to scrap it. How that will impact you? How you'll feel about that, or what you think will happen?
Well, we would like to hope that the relationship that we would have built before then would be able to sustain us in whatever government is there, because we want to build a relationship with the government. We want to make an impact on the country, and we're hoping that this impact we make is enough to keep that relationship no matter who is there. So we don't know other than that. Do you know? I don't know anything other than that.
I am not too sure, but I just want to add on to that answer. I believe that our solution is one that will greatly benefit the country, and that's what that's my big goal. I want to make a positive change in the country, right? And the way that I can do that using my skill set is by developing software to help the citizenry, right? If it so happens that it gets cut and there's nothing I could do, well, I know in good conscience that I tried my best to help my country. Yeah.
Boy, Sinead, I ever tell you I'm proud of you? I don't know. I can't remember last time I told you I'm proud of you.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you guys? If you don't mind.
You ain't getting that.
29.
Okay.
29. And he is...
I'm turning 30 this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm turning 29 and he's turning 30 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, that means I teaching for real long. All right, cool. Let's just leave that there. All right. I am extremely, let me tell you what coming out of this, right? I am very, very happy, one, that this D-Hub thing, based on what you all told me, a lot of thought, a lot of implementation, and a lot of technical know-how was put into it because what I'm often afraid of with Trinidad and Tobago is that we just have these pie in the sky ideas and be like, yeah, let's push technology forward, and then they just come up with some kind of wishy-washy plan to make it look.
With that same skepticism, we did.
Yeah.
And we were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, that really making me feel like joyous, happy to know that there was a project manager, there were external consultants, anonymity, people could technically check your code and those sort of things. And they basically put the money into not just the show, but they put funds into the back end basically to make sure that this thing is going to be properly implemented. And the best team would win because they have put in all the checks and balances. But they also put effort into the front end, which is make sure it's publicized, make sure it's shown, make sure it's available. And that I'm feeling happy about the Ministry of Digital Transformation right now, because there was a time last year when we saw the Ministry of Digital Transformation was not last year, the year before. We're doing this podcast almost 2 years now. Way boy.
Yeah, they didn't even have a website.
Yeah, they didn't have a website. The website, the website was trash, like honestly. But now the website has like a color scheme and like layout and things. So that gives me a lot of hope, especially talking to you developers who understand the requirements and intricacies of doing something professionally, and to realize that you were treated professionally. That probably gave you a little motivation to be like, all right, let's get this thing done and show these people what we could do. Put your best foot forward, because this might actually have a chance of making it a market and turning into something that is lucrative, because your IP is still yours, and that matters a lot. That matters a lot. And then the second thing that came out of it is that you seem to be, well, we didn't interview anybody else yet, but I'm going to be shaking you down for numbers and contacts of other developers, because I know you got them. To find out how their experience was. I'm really glad that you all have a definite passion to push this thing through. And not just push this through, but because even if this goes south for whatever reason, you definitely have a passion for Trinidad and Tobago and trying to, Sinead wants to make sure that everybody is included in the use of our app. And Kwasi, you like, I just want to help this country with something that's good and show them that, we could do something. That gives me real plenty hope, boy. Real plenty hope. So I'm real glad for that. I don't know what making Akeem get happy right now, but yeah.
No, I mean, I just happy that so far you guys made that impact, and it's some, even though as it starts certain things are out of your control if the government change or whatever, but you made that impact so far. I mean, a little older than you guys, so what I'll just say is take it in. If anything like that happens, just take it in stride. Don't be discouraged or whatever. Just keep going along, because the way the country is, it have a lot of things that may work against you, but you just need to keep along the path and working towards what is right, or what where you want things to be. So.
You're like a little mentor kind of vibes there. All right.
Nah, I mean, he's 30, only like 5 years older than him, so but that's on my experience. Yeah, that's keep at it. Keep at it. And I mean, what we're all trying to do is a good thing. Trying to give back to the country and make an impact is a good thing. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so where we finding y'all on the interwebs? LinkedIn? Are you all LinkedIn junkies, or you just be like, we really not fighting on the socials? We just, in the background doing what we had to do. Let's hear where the people can find you.
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. My handle is QuasiDev. All my handles are QuasiDev. My website is also up and available.
Quasi.dev.
So it's www.quasi.dev. Right?
All right.
And Instagram.
Should you send me all that in our WhatsApp message, right? So I could put it on the podcast,
sure.
And show notes. Yeah.
Cool.
So you all have like a developer page?
I think out of this, we are going to start pushing our business more. I made the mistake of when we signed up for the D Hub, not just signing up as our business. I just put SK Devs because that was a placeholder, and then I forgot to go and change it. So it was actually supposed to be our business name. So, we're going to start pushing us more as a business rather than individuals from now on. So,
Okay. So what's the business name?
That is Sunday Bites.
Yeah, and like what do you all do and stuff like that. You could plug yourself a little bit.
It are people who like, to be listening here, just in case like you're not too sure.
So we have a software development business. So we're able to take projects from ideation straight up onto deployment. Right. So the name of that business is Sunday Bites. Yeah, you can access it at sundaybites.com. That's SUNDAE, like the ice cream kind of Sunday, bites, BYTES.com.
Yeah.
You can find more information on the website.
Nice. That's good to know. And yeah, y'all can check them out because there are software developers in Trinidad and Tobago. You're not the first ones that we're going to try to shake down, but you had to be the first one because Sinead, you hold a special place in my teacher heart.
Oh,
so so we had to shake you all down first, but we'll try to contact some of the other devs and get their stories and get their things because, as you know, our podcast is really to push technology in Trinidad and have sensible conversations about technology instead of just be like, "Way, that app real cool, boy." Like, no, we want to like showcase the ability for Trinidad to be sustainable when it comes to technology, and we could do the things that everybody else thinks is impossible when it comes to software and hardware too, but specifically software development and processes and management and the public sector basically. Let's just stop right there. All right, so that's it for today, folks. We went on for our usual hour and 10 minutes. We don't have any random story. Last time we did a random story and we got the views of our guests, but we don't have time for that right now because I have to go and do a YouTube live for students who have an exam. I think they have the computer science unit 1 exam on Tuesday. So I have to go and do like YouTube teaching, which is my second joy besides physical teaching. So my name is Mr. Charles, Andre Charles from makeITsimpleTT. You could find me anywhere on the internet except for my LinkedIn profile because it's almost 6 months of the year and I have posted nothing. And this is where New Year's resolutions go to die. If 6 months here and do it, when am I going to use LinkedIn? I'm not too sure. But hey, I forget to tell you what I came by. One of the podcast clips. I've never had a post go viral on Instagram. I probably you might get like a 10K views, but right now it's on like 40 something K views and just growing. And yeah, and everybody like, wait, I see you talking about the internet and Tobago, boy. And I was like, why would that clip become the one that goes viral on Instagram, which is the hardest place to go viral? But once Instagram pick you up, it pick you up, boy.
I was telling him, my mom who lives in the US told me she saw my podcast clip, and I never told her I have a podcast. And when she got it from, she said my uncle sent it to her. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know my uncle have an Instagram.
Boy, yeah. So one of the clips went viral on Instagram. Normally it was go viral on TikTok, and TikTok does fizzle away real fast, but the Instagram one holding. But the comments on Instagram, it reminded me of Facebook. And I just kind of like, because I think you read some of the comments there, some of the comments on Instagram there. I was like, whoa, anyhow, let me just, you don't really pay attention to the comments. So you could find me anywhere on the internet at makeITsimpleTT. If you all have any questions, you all could send it. People send messages on Instagram from time to time. And they send news and anything that you all want us to talk about or highlight. Just remember that we are not in the business of blasting people. We really just try to talk about things from an objective perspective when it comes to technology. And whenever there's something that is off technologically, we will talk about it. But we're not trying to get a message from you who'll be like, hey, so-and-so do so-and-so to me. And you're ready to blast them. It's like, that's not how we plan to use our social media and influence. We actually want to uplift. So that's me. And my co-host is...
It's Akeem from Redbit_tech.
And he could be found on TikTok, which he did 0 videos for this week. And he was supposed to do 3 videos?
Nah, that's actually one. I'll do one.
One? Yeah. What had happened was, You had to play with Legos. That's what you had to do. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much, Sinead and Kwasi. It was a pleasure. More than likely, we will. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And more than likely, we'll try to catch up with all you sometime next year to see how things are progressing and how the project is going, because it will be very, very interesting to know what 1 year later looks like when it comes to implementing something like this. But thank you for coming, and we hope that when the clips come out, and we wait now, what we tagging you as when we put it at Kwasi Dev? At Kwasi Dev, sorry.
I could send you all of that.
We'll send you all that.
Yeah, send me everything so that we will be able to tag you on the clips properly, so you'll see when the clips go up, and then you will make our clip go viral. Because we'll choose the best soundbite of you politically answering my hard question. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thank you very much. We will see you next week for episode 66 of the Trini TechCast.